Hey, it's Tyson. I'm back with another bite-sized episode that packs a punch today. We're going to explore a topic, and I am actually very personally excited about this. So let's go ahead and get started on this. We're going to dig in, and we're going to talk about some little-known tips and tricks for iPhone users. This one's really good. If you have any topics, though, that you want me to cover, just shoot me a text, 314-501-9260, 314-501-9260. And if I can cover it, I will. I've been getting some really good ideas, and so keep at it, and I'll get to them if I can. So this episode is about iPhone users, so sorry if you don't use iPhone, but this is for iPhone users. But I think a lot of you probably think you know your iPhone inside and out, but I think I'm going to give you a couple at least that you don't know about, some tips that you don't know about. I've also, scoured the depths of iOS and some other websites to make sure I got some things that maybe I didn't know about. But I wanted to bring you a list of little known tips and tricks that can change the way that you use your iPhone, starting right now, actually. So the first one is it's text replacement. So what you can do is you can set up shortcuts for phrases that you use frequently. All you have to do, go to settings, general, and then keyboard and text. So settings, general, keyboard, text, and you can change the settings in there that allow you to create those shortcuts. And I'm gonna go through this list fairly quickly, by the way, so you may need to pause it and go back. But here's the next one. So you can actually silence unknown callers. I don't think a lot of people realize this. So you get a lot of these spam calls, but all you got to do is go to settings, and then this is a way to avoid a lot of those spam calls, by the way. So go to your settings and then go to phone and then turn on silence unknown callers. That's going to get rid of a lot of those spam calls that you're getting. Another thing is pretty cool is that you can set up custom vibrations for different people that are different contacts that are in your phone. And what you can do is go to contacts and then select the contact, hit edit, ringtone. I think this is where it catches a lot of people where they don't know about it. Ringtone and then vibration. And then you can create a new vibration, which is pretty cool. So you can create a different vibration pattern by contact. Back tap is one of my favorites that I use on a regular basis. And it allows you to execute different actions by tapping the back of your phone. And so let's say it's a double tap or a triple tap. You can change the taps, and I have it where if I back tap it, it will open up my camera. All right, it's just an easy way of getting it. So boom, tap tap, it opens my camera. It's pretty cool. And the way you set that up is just go to settings, accessibility, and then touch, and then you can scroll down to enable the back tap. And it's pretty cool. And it gives you, I think it gives you two options, triple tap or double tap. It's really cool. In the accessibility section, you have a lot of different options. So I recommend going to settings and then accessibility, and you can have a lot of fun with your phone. There's a lot of cool things you can do. You can also set up when you're wearing your headphones, that you have Siri announce your incoming messages, and that it's not just text messages. That could be Slack. We use Click, but Click messages, all the different like WhatsApp, whatever it may be. But I actually have that off on my phone. I used to have it on, but whenever I'm doing something, I don't want to hear a message. But if you do, let's say that you're working and you'd rather hear that into your ear instead of dropping what you're doing, you can do that. All you have to do is in settings, go to Siri and search, announce messages. Okay, so settings, Siri and search, and then announce messages to enable that. What it is, it allows Siri to read those incoming messages to your headphones. The next one is, and I think many of you may know this, but I don't know, but you can use Siri to schedule things or to set reminders. All you have to do is say it. And that's something you can do where I have noticed if you do have it set reminders, if you don't have the reminders app, it actually may not do it. So you can actually delete the reminders app from your phone. And if you don't have the reminders in there, you're not going to be able to do that for reminders, but you can set it up for scheduling. I'm going to be, completely brutally honest about this. I don't think Siri does a very good job of this, because what Siri will do is they'll actually connect your contacts. And so if you're meeting with a specific person, Siri doesn't do a very good job of connecting that correct contact. Or if there's not a contact, you may have issues with the scheduling. So just so you know, just keep that in mind. You may have to play with it a little bit. But if you can get Siri to work with this, it'll allow you to do some multitasking. Um, Another thing, and I don't think a lot of people know about this one, is that you can actually scan documents in the Notes app. Um, all you have to do is use the built-in scanner in the Notes app, and you can quickly scan, contracts, invoices, any other important documents, court documents. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, but yeah, you can use the Notes app for scanning. You don't need some special app for it. Which I'll give you a bonus one. This wasn't on my list, but I don't think a lot of people realize that you don't need a special QR app. I think some people think that you need a special QR code app. All you have to do is get your camera out, hover over the QR code, and then tap it. It's really handy, and it opens up whatever app or domain address URL that you're trying to go to. Emergency SOS. This is another one. This was something that they announced, I believe, last year. I thought that was pretty cool. But you can enable the emergency SOS in settings, and it allows you to send your location to emergency services with just a quick button sequence that you can set up. And it's very useful for personal safety during like late night if you're leaving work, or if you've got to make house calls, with clients, if you've got to go and meet them at their house and something happens, or even you can set it up if you're, going hiking or whatever. And it'll also allow you to send very limited messages too. And that's to emergency personnel. So they set up this whole new network. They spent a bunch of money on it. It's a really cool thing that they've done. The next thing is limiting notifications. And so the next two I'm going to talk about is limiting notifications during work hours, and then also do not disturb while driving. But if you go to settings, screen time, and then downtime. So settings, screen time, downtime. You can schedule certain silent periods that allow you to prevent you from being interrupted throughout the day. You can also do it by location. So I have it set up where when I arrive to work, to my office, so it's by address, it'll actually turn on my my work do not disturb. So I'm not getting calls and text messages. And you can change it where you can get certain calls and text messages from specific contacts. So you can edit it and change it so it's not one blanket thing for everybody. It's really handy. There's also the do not disturb while driving. And that allows you to, when you activate this, what you do is you go in, and it's the same thing. You go settings, screen time, downtime. It's in that area, but it'll allow you to, so you don't have to manually auto respond to people. It'll actually send them a text message, whatever you have in there, for any incoming messages. And I think mine says something like, I'm driving with focus on, I'll text you when I get to my destination. And it'll allow them to know that, you can't text them back right away. You can turn that on, off, whatever you want, but I think it's handy. There's also two-factor authentication that has for codes for autofill, and hopefully most of you know about at this point, but it's really handy where if you have two-factor authentication, you get the code and the number will pop up in just right above the keyboard, and you just tap that and it'll autofill for you. It's really handy. That's one of my favorites, to be honest with you. There's also, I don't know how many people know about this, but when you take a screenshot, you can right away go into markup, and there's the little markup button, and you can actually write on the picture. So it's funny because I find this way easier to edit documents, or to give feedback on documents. So if one of the attorneys, if they send me a document to review, what I will do is I'll actually, as I'm going along and reading it, I will on my phone, so not on my computer. You can do it on your iPad too, I guess, but I'll actually take a screenshot of it and I'll quickly write on it, and then I'll send it over to them. Or I'll just save all the screenshots and then send those over bit by bit. To me, it's way easier, but I don't know if a lot of people know that you can do that. Handoff between devices is another really cool thing. So you can start an email, a document, some sort of browsing session on your iPhone, and then you can finish it on your Mac or iPad. And all you have to do is turn on the handoff feature. A little bonus one with this one is you can copy on your Mac and then paste it to your phone, and vice versa. So let's say that you're doing something on your phone and you want to be able to, it could be a website. Let's say you're on a website and you want to copy something from that website or the actual URL. You can just copy it on your iPhone and then look up at your screen, hit Command V. I did shortcuts in the previous episode. You hit Command V and boom, it'll be on your screen. Really handy tip. You can do the same thing with photos, a lot of different things, but it's a really handy tip that you can use whenever you are trying to hand something off from your iPhone to your desktop and then vice versa. So, all right, I think I've covered enough for you today. Hopefully these tips and tricks will give you some things that you can play around with and help make your phone a little bit more useful. Because I think a lot of us we underestimate the usefulness of our devices. There's a lot of power packed in there. But make sure you share this episode with other Mac users. Hopefully they'll get some love out of it. And if you do get something from these episodes, if you don't mind leaving us a 5-star review, I would really, really appreciate it. But until next week, remember that consistent action is the blueprint that turns your goals into reality. See ya. Take care.